In this video, I will be speaking about GBP USD. Now, as usual, to keep the video as educational as possible, we will try to understand where we have the highest probabilities for the next potential move here on this pair. Now, starting from the monthly time frame, what we can see is that we have a market which is currently testing a quite strong monthly demand and support area. From here, all this previous move to the upside was created. From here, again, the market tested and rejected this zone. So we can see how this area is actually a historical structure support zone. And we can see how last month the market once again tested this zone, is currently rejecting it to the upside. So from here, we could expect more bullish price action to be created. If we drop that on the weekly time frame, we can see how from a weekly perspective, after finding some resistance at this zone, the market is currently trying to break above it. If it will be successful, at that point, all this previous resistance would become support, and we could expect more bullish price action rejecting that monthly support that we have previously identified. Going down on the daily time frame, what do we see? Well, from a daily perspective, this is where things get quite interesting. In fact, we can see how at the moment on the daily, the market is in a range. We have the top of the range, which is exactly here, and the bottom of the range, which is here. Now, until the market will remain bounded in between this resistance and this support, which, as we can see, has already been essentially respected multiple times, we really don't have anything interesting from a daily perspective because the market is trapped in this range. However, things would get very interesting if we would get a break either above or below this zone. Now, before we continue with our analysis, so until the market will remain inside of this range, we don't have anything interesting, and the market could easily break even below that zone. However, the best probabilities in the market, that would only happen if the market breaks above this range. So if we get a break above this range, things would get extremely interesting for GBP USD because all this previous resistance would become support here. So if we do get the break, after a break on the retest of this previous resistance turn support, this would be a very interesting area inside of which we could be looking for a potential rejection to the upside. So if we do get the break on the retest, how we could be approaching a potential rejection to the upside. Now, as usual, trading is reactive and not predictive. The monthly, weekly, and daily, those are the best time frames from a directional perspective. However, when it comes to confirmations and entries, the best time frames are the intraday time frames, so 4 hour and lower. Therefore, what we could be doing potentially also with students is monitoring price action from an intraday perspective during this move to the downside, waiting for the market to shift from an intraday bearish market as we would have to an intraday bullish market. And if the market would shift from an intraday bearish to bullish market and provide to us one of our valid entries, at that point we could be looking for a potential rejection to the upside for the market to complete this impulse correction and impulse pattern to the upside. I also spoke about GBP USD a couple of days ago when the market had created this impulse. I explained all the reasons for which we could expect first this correction and then this continuation to the upside. And by the way, you will find that previous analysis linked in description, so you can go and check it out for more free education. Now, if you enjoyed this free analysis education and update, make sure that you drop a like and a comment. It really does support the creation of more free analysis education and updates for all of you. And I will see you in my next breakdown.